Am I live yet?
I give you the countdown and everything.
Yeah, but you started the countdown from 3, and that's not how it works.
Yeah.
I did. Why would I want to start higher than that? It'll only confuse him.
Yeah, I was just browsing. Through Facebook. I found things like Girls World.
I was hoping you were going to do the whole just looking up from camera and saying, "Good evening, everybody."
Yeah,
as if you were just waiting for him to turn up.
It's like reading the news, isn't it? Good evening. Welcome to the news.
Ted, admit it. Are you on one of them specialty gentlemen's websites again?
No. Hang on, how to turn this off?
remember, you're wearing glasses that reflect them.
Yeah. Got Tiswas. I found Tiswas. Never mind. Yeah, good evening. I forgot where I was then. Yeah, it's Monday night. It's us, and you might notice there's one missing tonight. Colin's not with us. He's got other things to do, far more important. But if you're here just for Colin and you're free to leave, you shut the door on your way out. Okay. Colin will be back next week, we hope. Well, really, I've had a word with him and he needs to up his game. He's probably going to be typing in chat. That's why he's not on the screen. Yeah.
You'll be in chat somewhere.
Yeah, he'll pop up in chat in a minute, typing all the things. But no, mind. Yeah, it's Monday night. It's live stream time. It's us at eModels, emodels.co.uk, and all the rest. You know where to go. We'll be doing the usual fun frolics, and well, not quite frolics. But it's the wrong type of show for that. It's after 9 o'clock. Yeah.
Not that I'm saying anything, Ted, but I think our frolicking days are long past frolic.
Yeah, I tried to frolic once, but it put me back out. I had to lie down for a week. Yeah, so remember, it's all up to you guys to sort of chat and lead us astray and things. It is a modelling channel, but yeah, if you're new here, don't expect any modelling to be spoken about. But, yeah, so,
Least modelling channel program.
We do sometimes do modelling by accident.
Yeah, we sometimes trip over ourselves and we actually fall into modelling, but we try not to stay around for too long. We usually talk about the old things, 80s TV, food, Belly and Bench. Don't forget Belly and Bench soon. But in the meantime, we'll go over to Foxx. Yeah, I was going to say Chris. We'll go over to Foxx.
We can go over to wherever I want. I've got the buttons. I can go to me if you want. You could be locked on me all night.
So now we go over live to Foxx at the workbench in Manchester. Over to you.
Here's a traffic report. Yeah, we're in the traffic helicopter. Yeah, it's quite busy, there's cars, but they're a long way away. Yes, hello everyone. Welcome. As always, it is your show. If you're watching this on the interwebs and you can see there's some live chat there, is that the right side, Chris?
It is indeed the correct side.
There's a live chat here in the blue box. You want to join in this because it's cool where all the cool kids go. If you want to join in that and you can't see where, if you're on a mobile device like a tablet or a phone, it might be underneath the video. So just scroll down a bit and we might be down there.
Don't point down there.
No, not down there. Below the screen here, you can see. You know what I mean. But yes, if you can't find chat anywhere, all you need to do is make sure you're on the YouTube page. You click the YouTube icon that's down here on this side, I think.
I don't know. I can't see that bit.
It's down there. It's underneath the chat. Down at the bottom of the video player, click the YouTube button. That will take you to the YouTube page where you can continue to watch this, but also join in the typey chat. We depend on you to give us stuff to talk about. So as always, if you want to get our attention, we've all got the chat open in front of us. Make sure to put your question in big, fat, capital letters so we have a chance to see it, or as Ted would call it,
put it in bold.
Yeah, put it in bold. I'll let you find the bold button, Ted. Yeah, put your question in big, fat, capital letters. But if you want to, you can use the super chat, which is the little dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window. That puts your comment in a big coloured box, and there's no way we can miss your comment or your question then. So give us stuff to talk about. Feel free to ask us anything you want, family friendly, in the chat. The more you ask us, the more we've got stuff to talk about. You can ask us about modelling if you have to.
And if we don't know the answer, we'll usually just make it up.
Or we'll just ask Vincent because he'll be in chat later on. Anyway. He's not in chat already. But yes, it's your show. So give us questions, give us comments, give us stuff to talk about. What else? I've forgotten my usual spiel now. That's it.
You haven't pointed at the email address yet.
Oh yeah, if you can't get access to chat at all, you can, if you want to, send us an email to that address there. Ted at eModels.co.uk. It's always on the top of the screen. We usually have that open, or we can't guarantee we'll be able to access the mail while we're doing the show because we're too busy looking pretty on telly.
Yeah. What normally happens though, if you send us an email, we usually get it on our phones or pads, what we've got in front of us, and we can't always, like if you send us a picture, we can't always transfer it up onto the live stream to show people, but because we can't, because it's too technical.
Yeah, but if you want to ask us questions and stuff and chat, we can probably get access to that. And if you can't get access to the live chat, but you want to join in the live chat, because we'll do a giveaway later on where you can win absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing you can win. It's the best absolutely nothing you'll ever win.
Yeah, and it's my what's in store this evening, so you never know what could happen. Yeah, I could press a button and disappear instantly, right before your eyes.
Yes. And there may be something very special at the end of the show.
Special, very special.
Yeah, very special.
Yeah, it's always a very special show because we're special people.
It's a local show for local people.
Right, over to Chris. Tell us who's in tonight then, Chris, before it gets hundreds and hundreds of people.
I shall have a look. I shall scroll back up to the top. The chat did seem to be a bit quiet before we started tonight, so hopefully I'll be able to get through it really quickly and it'll be cool.
I think they've been somewhere else, but
Yeah,
That might well be it.
They're normally in chat talking about an hour before the show, but it was like tumbleweed in there.
yeah, it's the football or something like that.
Maybe.
It could be something. Right, so we have one of your mods, Dad, is in there tonight, as is Michael Jackman, Redlin 8, Sarah Jane is back again, Gaz Vickers, Spanky goes to Hobbywood, Model Making Guru, Dad, Eric Graham, hang about. We don't need Foxx to do it. I can do it with a button. It's fine.
Oh.
There we go.
When Foxx has next week off, we can do without him.
Yeah, we've got it
Wait,
fine.
have I got
Sorry.
next week off? Woo!
Ray's about Skullfish, Matty's Metal Detecting South Wales,
You don't know who he is, where he comes from, or what he does.
Philip
Like
Prime,
anyway.
Ray from Malta, Nat
Hello.
Williamson is in. I believe it's actually Nat as well because it was Lewis the other day, but playing as being Nat, but now it's actually Nat. We think. Lewis is there as well, so yeah, they're both in. Osric 9000, Andrew Preston, Paul Horner. Names that I've already seen. Talking amongst themselves. Lee Dax says, "Good evening, people. First time in the group. Good evening, Lee. Welcome.
Good evening, Lee.
And
Good evening.
pick a seat and get comfy. And yeah, if you're first time in, you had to have brought the cake for everybody. That's the rules.
Yeah. Well,
So-
there's only two rules. One is you've got to bring the cake. The other rule is if you tell us what you're eating, we want all the details.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we get to that bit of the show, when we ask you what you've been building and what you've been eating, you need to. There's no good just saying pizza. We need to know the full ingredients list. It's like casserole.
The
You can't just say-
full terms and conditions will be posted, so just keep it up.
We don't allow us food, so we have to just vicariously.
Pencil might be handy to take notes, but
We have Tim Young is in. Anders, as ever, is here. Dave Cardboard. Nevbo, another one of your lovely mods is in. So, evening, guys. Lord Barkley the Third.
Don't forget,
Phil Lewis, I think I've
yeah, of
already
course,
said.
Bo's current video series is up on the eModels YouTube channel.
Indeed, that's the bike thing, isn't it?
Yep, the big bike knowledge.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's a bike.
My bike knowledge ends at that point.
Stephen Last, Donald McKenzie, Michael Jackman, Phil Lewis. I think it's already been said. I can't remember. I forget things. Michael Brown, Pete Rogers. It's jumped a little bit, so I might have missed a couple out, but I'm sure they'll be there. Jamie Bone, Chrissymon 1001, Zadster, Phil Lewis, Tim Young, Cynical Steve, Phil East, Graham McRobert, Stephen Last, Clarkey, AJ, Modern Waking Haggis,
Yeah,
Plastic Alchemist, Sergeant Bones, and that's everybody there from the thing today. Hello, welcome. If I've missed you, apologies, but I know you're here anyway. See you soon.
Is Model Making Haggis a new name in chat as well tonight?
No, we've seen them before.
Have we? Okay.
Yes.
Nevbo does confirm that that what he's doing in the eModels is latest. I'll start that sentence again. His latest eModel builds, he says it's called a bike.
Yes, and Phil Lewis apparently got mentioned 3 times. So.
Yay!
yeah, we'll try not to mention him next week then, just to catch up.
Yeah, the next 2 weeks you don't get mentioned at all.
If Chris didn't mention you, please feel free to mail us with your complaint to helden35@geocities.com.
Indeed. Nevo says it's the Kawasaki Ninja H2R 1/9 scale.
Yes, pre-coloured push fit sounds fantastic.
Cool. Right, we haven't got Colin tonight. Normally we would go across and do Colin's Festa Factoid. But it's not. Does anybody know who's died then?
I've prepared.
Oh,
I've prepared. Oh, actually, as Colin's not here, I've got a button for Colin, so I'll use that briefly to introduce the segment.
Fork handles.
It's not really a 4-candle segment, but that's the only button I've got.
All the buttons in the world.
Right. The Festas factoid for non-existent Festas and Festa absentee factoid for March the 2nd. Science events around the world. The one I have chosen for today is a nice, easy one, quick, because I don't want to show up Festa. I'll click it on me, shall I, instead of looking at Foxx?
Yay.
I'll put it on me for a bit.
Professional.
On this day in 1972, which was a great year, great things happened in 1972.
I think 70 was better.
one of the things that happened in 1972 was US spacecraft Pioneer 10 was launched. It passed close by Jupiter and Neptune before leaving the solar system. It is now more than 6 billion miles from Earth. That's a long way. It's not close anymore. It's a long way away.
Now, that's... I know you're taking the wording from the website, but they've technically got their facts slightly wrong. It's not left the solar system.
Did it say left the solar system? Did it?
Yeah. Because it's the Voyager Voyager probes will be the first.
It said it passed close by Jupiter and Neptune before leaving the solar system.
Yeah, no.
So it's passed them, and it is before leaving the solar system. It might not have left it yet, but
no, they haven't. The only thing that's left the solar system is the Voyager probe.
It's in the process of leaving over the next dozen years and stuff. Yeah. But yeah,
we shall write a stern letter to the Daily Mail and also to the science website we got the facts from and correct them in their erroneousness.
Do you think they sent it purposely, or did they lose it and then just rewrote the script?
I don't think they accidentally sent a probe into deep space.
Yeah, you could think, oh dear, we've lost it. Right,
they might have been aiming for shallow space.
Could be. Oh no, we've accidentally put it on an orbital trajectory of Jupiter to do like 14 stop bys and then accidentally spent months calculating the trajectory.
I also have a death of the day because it has to be done. I don't know what site Colin normally uses. I've just gone to a place that lists deaths of the day. So I've got where are we?
You've gone to the Watford Gazette.
In 1122, Floris II, the fat one, Count of Holland, dies. That's an official title, I assume. I don't know.
All rise for the fat one.
Does that mean there is more than one of him?
Something a little more recent. We have in 1758, Johann Baptist Zimmermann, a German stucco worker, was buried at 78. It doesn't say he actually died, but I'm assuming he probably did because they buried him
before he got buried.
So that's my deaths of the day for everybody. So enjoy those.
Was Zimmerman the inventor of the frame? Yeah.
When you say he was a stucco worker, do you mean he was a plasterer?
Yeah, that's the only two deaths of the day I could find was the fat one and a plasterer.
Colin, your job's safe, mate. Don't worry about it.
I wonder if you had a pair of them stilts that all plasterers have, walk around and put... Just a thought. All right, that's it.
Don't they just use a ladder?
Oh no, plasterers are too clever for that nowadays. They have stilts. They walk around on stilts and look very tall and look down on you.
Very tall.
We have some things in the chat. Chrissymon1001 is asking when you're laying the keel, Ted.
Right. Yeah, I've got an update on that. I've actually not been modelling for the past few days, or week or two, because I've been up in the loft making the new man cave ready for this. It's a bit bad when you've actually got to go and build a workshop before you can start a model.
How much does this kit cost? The £300 plus about $7,000 for a loft extension.
Yeah, probably not. Mark Scopes does say, "Come on, Foxx, give us a skullfish." Doesn't work when I press the button.
How was that?
Yours didn't come through because I pressed the button to make you do it automatically. So you can do it live if you like now. Go on.
I was doing the live one. I can't do one now. Go on then. Did you not go through?
I'm not going to press the button again. I want to hands off.
Yeah,
sorry, folks. We're totally professional. Skullfish.
I think you might have been muted though. I don't know. No. Yes. Thank you very much. Anders says, I started school back in 1972. Yeah, there are better things than that happened.
I think people have learned watching the show never to wear headphones.
Michael Jackman says, I left school at the end of 1972. So we've got people starting school, people finishing school. It's great.
I was one.
Now, for some reason, I imagine Michael Jackman to be younger than me. But, I didn't leave school till 78. Started working 78.
Yeah, this was 1972, Ted, not 1872.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see the 9. It's my eyes.
So when those guys were starting and finishing school, I still had no control of my major body functions.
Yeah, I started breathing in 1972. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right, where are we up to? Yeah.
Sergeant Bone says in 1972, my mother made the ultimate mistake in trading a GAU Camaro for a Ford Capri. The Caprino is a worth of $1,000. The Camaro will be $200,000 worth now. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could.
Because we mentioned years and ages, we've now got the traditional influx of people telling us how old they were in 1972. Cynical Steve was 1. Osric did not exist. Lord Whiteley was 4.
Andrew Preston says, "Hi Ted, the M3 Lee tank I won last week. You did. Received it within 3 days at Superfast service. Thanks again.
Yeah,
it's not us. You need to
Have
thank.
you built it yet?
I did get an email from somebody last week as well saying that they hadn't received their kit from eModels. Sometimes it depends where you are. Sometimes if you're even in the UK, postage things can get stuck in postage, particularly if you're abroad in America. They seem parcels for the USA seem to go round and round in circles forever until it gains enough momentum to be thrown out on a centrifuge.
Yeah. If you're in the US and you're in a prize, just keep in mind USPS and
I'm sure there's a van full of parcels just driving round and round. The chain shift it. Right, Bert, it's over to you. You can drive it round for the next 8 hours. Do you have any drop-offs? No, just drive it round. So whenever you pass a brown UPS van in the town, it's full of parcels, not going anywhere.
Now, Dave Cardboard, he's clearly been scarred by this because he says in 1972, I made the mistake of trying the pink custard on my school dinner.
Oh, was pink custard? Was that not semolina?
No, it was literally when you got like a piece of chocolate cake, sometimes you get the green mint custard. Sometimes it was the normal yellow stuff or white, but sometimes you get the pink custard, and it was supposed to be like strawberry, but it was minging. It was one of the few school dinner things I wouldn't eat.
I used to like we used to get from our bakers giant Bakewell tarts, and they had white ones or pink ones, and they were different. The pink ones were better.
Were they actually giant, or were you just tiny?
They were bigger than the normal ones. Even now, I reckon they'd be that big.
Wow.
Instead of that big for a normal one. That big. Not like one of them. One of them. Not one of them. One of them.
I think it was at school I began my aversion to custard because you were forced to eat it.
Yeah, I don't mind custard. There wasn't much I wouldn't eat for school dinners. I loved school cabbage. I don't know why. I loved school cabbage. I loved school curry. 1970 school curry was just the absolute best.
And now we're on to food.
No. When I was at school, curry wasn't invented. That was a thing for somewhere in the empire.
That was colour food, wasn't it, Ted? You had black and white food in your day.
Yeah, that's when most of the earth was still coloured in red.
Mark Scope says, I was born in 72 to the number one puppy love, The Shame. So always roll back the clock 9 months since I was conceived to Maggie made by Rod Stewart. Andy M says, will Ted be able to get his completed Titanic down from the loft when it's done without damaging it?
I'm already considering that. It'll go up in the loft easy enough. I'm considering when it comes down, I might have to disassemble the loft on it and lower it down. Yeah, but
well, it's a one-piece hull at the moment, isn't it? So in theory, it's not going to be wildly bigger than it is now.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might do a couple of try runs. The only thing that will be different, it'll become higher because of the masts and the funnels and things like that. So I think it should be all right. Yeah, I'll make a box for it, put it in a box.
The worst comes to the worst, you can break it in two and say it's an after kit.
Yeah, well, I'm in the roof now, so I could just take some slates off and slide it out of the roof.
Just make sure you get Ted Jr. to come around. Next time Ted Jr.'s around and you finished it, give you a hand.
Yeah.
Rick Dion says, when are you going to start the Titanic?
Yeah, probably once I've got the workshop finished. I was just saying before I came on here that I've done some work for the past few days, and then I've ordered some stuff from the builders merchants that's coming on Wednesday. So maybe at the weekend I'm looking to sort of get it inhabitable, sort of, so I can clear all the dust out, start painting and doing things like that, and then try and get a desk up there to work on a workbench.
Phil Lewis says about the pink custard to Dave Cardboard, it was always particularly unpleasant when they put it on the cottage pie.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that the days? I take it you guys at school, when you went for your school dinners, you had compartmentalised trays and everything.
Yeah, we had plastic round plates. That was it.
No, yeah.
But did you ever get that thing where remember you used to get like they had an ice cream scoop for the mashed potato because it was like that it wasn't potatoes. You'd have an igloo shape of you go scoop and you'd have this ball of mashed potato. Did you ever notice how sometimes it had a real peppery taste to it and it tasted weird? Just every now and then it'd be like, nam, that's not right. That like they got a lot of pepper in it or something. I don't quite know.
Yeah, I think what's happened was the dinner ladies boiled it to death because you always had that smell of cabbage and boiling potatoes in there in the kitchens.
Yeah, I used to love school cabbage. Oh, it's
Yeah,
the best.
I think they just boiled it to death and just put some seasoning on it to make it a bit palatable. Yeah, that's all it was.
Well, don't forget this was the 70s, so something had to kill the food.
Mm.
It was already killed.
Yeah, Pete Rogers says his first curry was a Vesta curry. Yeah, freeze-dried rice. Yeah.
Cynical Steve says the song on his birthday, the day of his birth, was Only the Fastest Milkman in the West by Benny Hill, but my mum used to swear it was Johnny Mathis when a child is born. What, you were born at Christmas? When a child... No, I'm not going to sing it for copyright, obviously. I've now got Johnny Mathis singing that in my head. Oh, gosh, darn it.
Why is it a song like Ernie is the song that you can remember all the words to?
Ernie. Oh, dear, copyright. Teddy, you're going to show us the workshop when it's done, says AJ.
Yeah, well, we'll have a tour of the workshop. We'll have an official opening. I might get somebody official to come round and cut the ribbon.
This is Ted.
Yeah,
It's about as official as it gets.
Yeah.
Carl's in. We must be giving something away.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Carl.
Hello, yeah. You haven't done the draw yet, Carl. So you can go out and come back in again. Grace says, "Will I make it to episode 7 on the Loft build?" I was actually thinking of building it. Yeah, sorry. I was actually thinking of filming the build, but yeah, it just became too dusty and mucky and lots of swearing and things like that. So I didn't do that. Pete Rogers said his first Chinese was a Vesta chow mein with crunch bits on the top.
Mark Scope said that.
Oh, Mark Scope said that even. Yeah. I remember my very first Chinese. I went into a Chinese takeaway, and because they didn't cook it like a fish and chip shop, because they didn't cook it in front of you, they disappeared out the back somewhere. I wasn't too keen on eating it. So I came out the shop. I must have been about 13 or something like that. Yeah, I came out the shop and threw it away.
I discovered a couple of weeks ago there used to be a Chinese takeaway that was about half a mile from my house, and it's on this hill, and it's been there since I was a kid, so it's been there for a good 30-40 years, and we just knew it as the Moss Lane Chippy because it was on this road called Moss Lane. I actually only found out because it closed about 3 years ago. I actually only found out last week what it was actually called, because none of us bothered to ever look at the name on the top. So I couldn't have told you until I read this thing on the internet like a week ago what my local chippy was actually called, because we just called it the Moss Lane Chippy. I was like, how did I used to go there like 2 or 3 times a week, more when I was a scruffy teenager. How did I not know what it was called? Weird.
But you're not very observant, so I'm not surprised.
No, there's that.
Is that not like when you're walking around town? When you go to town, your way to town. You go down this street, you go down that street, you turn left, you go there, and then you're in town. When somebody stops in a car and says, "Excuse me, can you tell me the way to Market Street?" You don't know what the name of the streets are in town.
It's when you walk there and you have no memory of the journey. That's the scary thing.
It's worse when you drive there and you're thinking, hang on, how did I get here? And you're still in the car. That's worse.
Yeah, I can't remember going past such and such. Yeah. How did I get here?
It's a bit like, because I always like, when something is really simple but hard to explain, like simple to do but hard to explain, I always say it's a bit like if someone asked you to explain how to tie your shoelaces. It's actually really hard to explain how to do it.
There's something about foxes going around trees and stuff and rabbits hiding under things.
Phil Lewis says, true story. When I was 9 in 1971, you can do some maths now.
He does correct himself to 1972.
I was permanently put off school blancmange. Oh, school blancmange. When I found a large moth in my serving.
Oh.
I remember being at secondary school, and we had a canteen. I always had the same thing. I always had sausage, beans, chips. That was it. And then I had like a steak sandwich. They used like steak things. But one day they had no sausage left, so I had to have a sausage roll. I don't like sausage rolls. But I was in the same thing for me. I was put off sausage rolls for life because I found what appears to be some kind of pancreas in my sausage roll. I was like, that's like a pancreas of something. I didn't finish it, obviously.
I suppose it could have been worse. You could have found half a moth.
Yeah.
Right, what?
It depends if you found the good end or the bad end.
I don't know that there's a good end or a bad end.
Speaking of food, we haven't done belly and bench. So while we're talking about food, yeah, let's hear what's in the belly and what's on your bench for tonight.
Yeah, what you're working on. It doesn't have to be a model, even though we're a modelling show. It can be anything on your bench. It could be something you're drawing, something you're making. It could be music you're writing or a story. Anything creative. It's all about making. So what's your current creative project? And what's in your belly?
Shall we start with ourselves while we're waiting for them to build up? So can I ask Foxx what's on your belly and bench thing?
There's nothing in my belly. Well, there's McDonald's in my belly because we were lazy tonight. And in the spirit of McDonald's, in the spirit of bench and belly, it was the new super double massive Big Mac with bacon, which is just a normal size Big Mac. The chicken sticky barbecue thing that's a really bad idea when you've got any kind of facial hair. And some chips. At a bench, I have at the moment. I have some news. After many months, I have now finished at least the mobile suit part of the Sazabi, the Borderlands Shanghai Dragon Sazabi. So the mobile suit is done. That's many hours of painting, ink outlining. It's got that Borderlands, not cel shaded, but sort of graphic novel look. So that's done. All I've got left to do now is paint the dude, paint the rifle, and paint this little diorama base.
And the left leg that you haven't done.
Silence. So that's done. So I'm hoping to get that done in the next week or two. But then, when that's finished, it's been a long time waiting.
Wait for it, folks. Wait for it.
It's not just Ted that's got a big box.
Whoa!
Hello. Hello. Yes, this is my next eModels build. You've seen it before, but it's been like 8 months since I showed the box. So yes, that's after the Sazabi's done, a couple of weeks, I'll be starting the perfect grade Millennium Falcon for the eModels. And I'll be doing a full video build and paint and stuff. Probably not too much focusing on the building because it's Bandai, so it's push fit, it's dead easy. But it's the full special edition one with the lighting and everything. So we'll be doing a proper full on paint. And I will say, I'm not going to mimic, because this one is the New Hope Falcon. If you've built the Fine Molds one, the Fine Molds Falcon was the Empire Strikes Back one. This is the New Hope, so it's got 3 legs, not 5 legs. And there's no big scar down the back. I will be not necessarily mimicking the movie paint job, the Industrial Light and Magic paint job, because if you actually look at the New Hope Falcon, the actual filming model, the paint job is, gosh, it's terrible. It's horrible. It's basically painted white with some paint splats on it from a toothbrush. It's like, pfft. You can see where they've got a straw of paint and gone like that. It's really quite basic. So I'm going to be doing a mix of sort of like movie accurate, but also if it was a real ship. So I'm going to apply real life weathering techniques to it.
Better than movie accurate.
It's what?
Better than movie accurate.
Yeah, it's like if they were made, it's like a proper paint job. If I was making it for a movie, so it's not going to be film accurate, but it's going to be accurate with realistic weathering as best I can do it. So, and there are going to be some limitations to my normal techniques because it's a Bandai kit, so I can't go slopping washes around everywhere. So it's going to be quite creative. But that's hopefully going to start in the next few weeks. So keep your eyes peeled on the eModels channel in coming weeks for that. But that's it. That's on my bench.
Are you going to do lighting in it?
It comes with lighting.
Oh, right.
Yes, it's the version that comes with lighting. So yes, I have no choice but to put the lighting in.
Oh, excellent.
So I won't be doing any custom lighting. I'm just going to go with eModels builds because we don't get to keep these. We don't pay for these. Complete transparency. eModels give us the models to build, and then we film them and then we give them back. We don't get to keep these. So I'm not doing any extras on it because obviously we don't do any upgrade kits and stuff because we don't put our own coin into it. We get the kit, we build it, and we give it back to you. It goes into the display cabinet. So it's whatever's in the box, that's what I'll build. Now, when I did my Eagle Transporter, I did lighting in that, but that's because one of the viewers very kindly sent me a lighting kit, so I included that. But this has got lighting with it. Can't wait to be my 4th or 5th Millennium Falcon. I've built that. It's a great ship.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we're up to, so it must be me then.
Is it you, Ted?
Is it me? Oh, well, in my belly, it was a homemade cheese lasagna.
Oh,
So
wait. So that means it's got no meat in it.
it wasn't even. I'm telling you a lie. It was cheese macaroni. That was it. With garlic bread.
Garlic bread. Garlic bread.
But garlic.
It's a sensation.
It was very nice, actually. Nice crusty. She puts a layer of cheese on the top of the pasta, and it all melts down in the oven. On the bench, just junk really. I've still got parts of the Hitachi digger still spread about here, but I haven't really touched anything because I've been upstairs wanting to get the new workshop done. Because really, I'm being evicted. The wife said, "I bought a sideboard."
You're like, and?
Yeah, and where's that going to go? Where your benches?
Oh.
Where am I going to go? In the loft. When's the sideboard arriving? About 3 weeks.
In about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I've just heard the guy pull up outside. It's here now. Yeah, I'm really being evicted, so I've really got to press on with getting upstairs done. Whereas, it was a case of manana. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow for the loft. Yeah, I've got to crack on now. But yeah,
How did it take 3 weeks for a sideboard to arrive? You just phone up Argos and they deliver it.
yeah, I'll have that one.
Is this like handmade and crafted on the thighs of Cuban virgins or something? Or?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they've got to wait for the trees to grow and things like that, then chop them
Don't you
down.
just drive to IKEA and buy it flat pack?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, when you have a pocket full of screws and bits left after it. Yeah. So that's why I'm on with the loft, because I'm getting evicted. So in the next few weeks, I might be like you guys and have like workshop type things behind me.
Ooh. Because we do miss the Ted shed. I've got to be honest, we do miss the Ted shed.
Yeah, it was great out there. It was a bit cold in the winter, whereas in the loft, I'm actually thinking of diverting some radiators upstairs into the loft. So yeah. Do that.
But you had a custom fitted chicken and everything.
Yeah, I had chicken and everything. Yeah.
Don't mention the chicken. Still too soon.
Too soon.
It brought it all flooding back. Yeah,
Model making chicken. Too soon.
It brought it all flooding back to me this morning because on the way to work, I found a pheasant.
Oh yeah. When you
found a pheasant.
Found.
Yeah, it was lying in the middle of the road. So, oh, I'll have that.
That's me dinner.
Yeah, so it's door open, clunk, boot, clunk.
My neighbour used to have a neighbour living across here. I think he was a gamekeeper, but he may have been a poacher. I don't know. But he'd occasionally come home with he had a Jeep, and he'd occasionally come home with an entire deer just on the roof, and I'd be like, wow. And he'd be like, do you want some venison? I'd be like, yeah. So he'd go away, and then he'd come back the next day with half a deer. There you go, done. Bonus.
No.
I think he was a gamekeeper. He was a very nice man.
Just as long as it wasn't, too expensive. Oh, no, wait, I did that wrong. As long as it wasn't too dear.
Oh, banned. Go on, Chris. What have you been up to?
Me. I had for dinner a couple of mini pizzas.
Oh, yeah. You.
That's it, and I've been building stuff.
What was on the pizza?
I've been building stuff. I've been painting my my Baneblade. The digital camo is becoming complete. So yeah, if you see something sneaking up and you're in the dark, it's probably this.
Yeah.
So there we go. My pizza, I did have some pepperoni and other assorted meats.
Wow.
I wouldn't really class pepperoni as a meat. It's more an insult than a meat.
It's fine. You just don't appreciate stuff.
Pepperoni is just pretend nonsense. You want chicken and beef and bacon and sausage. Yeah.
Chicken's not real meat.
It's not a real meat.
Anyway,
chicken's the sort of the alternative to meat.
Chat, see what everybody else has had in Billy and Bench. Let's start with Zadster. He had fish fingers, hot cheese on.
Hang on. Where are we starting?
We've gone back up to Zadster, just below Anders Eriksson.
Oh yes, there we go.
there. He had something similar, fish fingers with hot cheese on. Was violently and spectacularly vomiting for the next few hours.
Yay.
Never had hot cheese since.
Oh, that was at school, not when he was having his bench and belly.
Yeah, I think that wasn't his bench of belly.
Yes. Gary says, waiting on a wooden deck for Titanic. I think he said earlier on that he bought the £800 Mantua 200 scale Titanic and now he's sexy, and the fact you can get this one.
Yeah. It is on his way.
Grey Wolf 011 says ham and cheese sandwich and a trumpeter 1350 Arleigh Burke class destroyer. I'm assuming that's belly and bench, not bench and belly.
Yeah.
Otherwise it'd be.
I was once contacted by a guy who, I could have this wrong. He wanted to know if I could do a commission build of an Arleigh Burke class ship with their new super secret laser weapon on it, because he designed the super secret laser weapon, and I'm like, I'd love to, but I don't do shit.
Yeah, I'll send you all the plans for it. You can build it. You can build a working one.
Quite literally was saying, I can send you specifications and the technical diagrams. I'm like, that's kind of classified, and also I don't do boats, but feel free.
You can send me that, but you'll have to
documents.
kill me afterwards.
Yeah, send me all the secret stuff I can sell.
Deaths 0079. Is that a new name in the?
No, I've seen deaths before.
Ah, right. He's building an MG Talgeese.
It's a Gumpler.
Is it?
It's a master grade tall geese.
I was thinking it was some sort of sports car.
It's like geese but taller.
If it's a name that makes no sense, it's probably Japanese and therefore probably Bandai and therefore probably Gumpler.
But otherwise, he's got broccoli cheese soup from Panera.
Ooh. So Jamie Bowen says, belly, fish finger and mashed potato sandwich. Good girl. Bench just finished building the Tamiya 148 M4A1 Sherman. Yes.
Nevo, he's had bacon butty and wingnut wings soaked with camel.
Ooh, how are you finding that wingnut wings camel, Nevbo? They are.
And
I
how
hear
did you
they
find the
make
bacon
very,
butty?
very good aircraft kits.
Yeah, I wait to see the rigging on it.
Yes. Get yourself some Easy Line. Whoa. Let's have a look. Mark Scope says belly grand Big Mac. That's what I had, as well as a sticky chicken barbecue thing, which is bad if you got a beard. I keep saying that. I keep forgetting every time I go somewhere that sells sticky food like ribs and I keep forgetting I've got like an entire face furniture thing going on.
How can you forget that you've got that beard?
Yeah.
Hey?
How can you forget that beard?
Well, it's not so much that. It's I forget that every time I take a mouthful of a burger, my entire moustache goes in with it, and I'm like, oh, hang on.
Can you not get one of them surgical masks that goes over your ears? Then the square ones that you can just cut a gap in the middle.
I'll get one of them,
Slot in the
get one of
middle.
them Victorian things that used to put that on the edge of a teacup, so it push your moustache up. But I'll just get it on I'll attach it to my face. Anyway, it says belly grand Big Mac bench Gloucester Gladiator 172nd scale, and it's so tiny.
Oh yeah, I couldn't go back to building tiny stuff. Like I don't know how you do it, Chris. Building 144 stuff. Yeah, I couldn't go.
Rick Dion says one of y'all need to build a kit from Armortech. I recognise the name, but I'm not familiar with
Armortech isn't that the specialist tank builders that build all the tanks and stuff out of steel, field gun, things like
I
that.
can't remember.
It's really quality stuff, but unfortunately, eModels don't stock that.
No.
Mm.
You need a mortgage to buy that sort of kit.
Yeah. Wayne Haywood
Wayne
says,
has belly tomato soup, bench a Bandai Sand Trooper.
All right, I talked over you there, Chris, reading the same thing. Do you want to read that one again?
I shall start again. Belly, a tomato soup, bench, Bandai Sand Trooper.
For those watching in black and white, belly, tomato soup, bench, Sun Trooper from Bandai. Thank you for watching Radio 4.
You've got to have lots of bread with tomato soup. Yeah, you don't need a spoon. You just dip it constantly in bread.
I've got to be honest. I view tomato soup the same as peas, as in utterly pointless and boring.
No,
I can't do tomato soup when I can have soup with meat and vegetables in it.
Heinz tomato soup is just like it's just baked beans with the beans taken out.
Yeah, imagine you
it's
took tomato
technically-
soup, but then you took out all the tomato soup bit and you put in like chicken or lamb and vegetable and flavorings and herbs and spices and perhaps beef and other ingredients and made it a completely different soup. It'd be delightful.
No, don't agree.
Yeah. It's basically liquid peas.
Moving on, Sergeant Bowman says burritos and a VK3001 pre-Tiger.
I've never had a burrito.
I'm assuming that's an early version of a tiger. I don't know.
Early tigers.
Yeah.
They're called kits. Hey, Cynical Steve says, Belly, sausage and onion bap. Bap. He's a good northern lad, and you can tell
Yeah,
because he calls it a bap.
we all know what a bap is.
Sausage and onion bap bench, drawing up plans for my next build because I want to do it all proper like. Cynical Steve. Steve likes to make things from just anything. Household junk and stuff, and he makes awesome spaceships out of random.
Do you think he gets a recycling bin, fetches it into the workshop, upends it on his bench, and thinks, "Yeah, I see what. Yeah, I see."
No, I bet he does that, and then just shuts his eyes, puts it all together, and it looks like an amazing spaceship.
Yeah. I think he never puts his recycling bottles and plastic cans bin out.
I think he probably works for the recycling company and brings it all home with him.
There is that.
Yeah, imagine what you could find in if you worked at a recycling plant. Think you could come on with.
A couple of times I've taken things to my local refuse tip or recycling plant, as they're called now, and you go along and you have like a piece of white goods, like a toaster or something that's perfectly working. It works fine. It's just you're throwing it out because you've got a new one. And it used to be you go to the tip and you'd be like, get rid of your boxes, and you say, listen lads, I've got this toaster. Anybody you guys want it? Yeah, we'll have it. And they'd just flog it, and they just keep it in their office and stuff and make whatever, like a lamp or toast. Now they're like, sorry, you can't take that. You can't take anything. I'm like, look, it's a perfectly working 40-inch TV. No, I can't take it. I bet they're there going, oh, I wish I could take it.
It used to be great. It used to be a great little treasure trove. You got the tip. You take a broken wardrobe or something. Got the tip with that. Come back with a car full of stuff. But yeah, you can't do it anymore. Can't do that, mate. Where are you going with that? Oi, put that back. But I could put it back. Put it back.
Ours is great because it's like you walk in, you've got like, you'll always have like the metal thing, so that goes in the metal. You'll have the cardboard, that goes in cardboard. You'll have the bit of wood. Then you'll always have like the one thing that you're like, the hell do I do with this like desk lamp or piece of foam? And it's always like, yeah, just chuck it in the non-recyclable. But it's glass and metal. Yeah, chuck it non-recyclable.
Mm-hmm.
And look, won't be tired if you've got a sealed bin bag because they're like, what's in that? I need to know everything that's in it. Well, just crap.
Or you wait till you've got a cardboard box full of rubbish, and you wait till the operator turns his back, so you can throw the whole thing in the skip. Otherwise, you've got to sort it all out and rummage through it. Never mind. Where were we up to?
We have Phil East saying belly is a triple cheeseburger. She's the best type of cheeseburger. Bench is 35 unprimed Space Marines in need of final mould line cleanup.
Reed, you know what make a triple cheeseburger better?
Another cheeseburger.
Yeah, more cheeseburger. Phil Lewis says, belly, a nice piece of chippy southern fried chicken with an enormous homemade salad. Bench still working away at the studio scale resin UFO from the series of the same name.
Now, I saw a program the other night on TV saying that southern fried chicken is actually better for you than pizza. So yeah, pizza's out, southern fried chicken, KFC's in.
Yeah. Jamie Bowen says, I assume about the Millennium Falcon 6 episodes. I can promise you absolutely 100% now that the final episode of that Millennium Falcon build will be episode 6.
Because we know Foxx can't count higher than 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 4.
Many,
5.
lots.
Number. That's number wang.
Philip Prime, meatball stew and dumplings. 148th Hawker Hurricane. Bob movie opening scene diorama. Bob
Battle of Britain.
Big Bob. What?
Battle of Britain.
Bob.
Battle of Britain.
Could be. Yeah.
Bob.
Battle of Britain.
Moving on.
Sergeant Bones says, and Fox, horror of horrors, Amazon. Oh, Amazon was sold out of udon noodles. The internet just needs to be turned off in that case. Dave Robert says, Bench, a completed Airfix B-17G by my standards, a pretty rapid build, only 1 year and 2 months. Good girl. Belly, corned beef sandwich. Yes. By the way, just so people know, we don't actually care about the bench bit. It's just the food bit we're interested in, but we'll take the bench bit just to give us some justification for asking the model maker.
Do we have to change the name of the segment to Belly
and whatever?
Yeah, you see, mentioning the models that people have got on the bench just justifies our existence, and
yeah, it's just like you're treading water.
Yeah, our contract is fulfilled because we mentioned models once.
Okay. Sarah Jane is no, she's not working on barbecue chicken. She had barbecue chicken baked with barbecue super noodles. Oh, that sounds like pure filth. And still the race car on the bench.
Oh.
People don't realise that super noodles is actually proper cooking if you mix it with real food. It's fantastic.
I like this. I like this next one. Tim Young says haggis with rumble thumps.
What's rumble
What's
thumps?
the rumble thumps? Please enlighten us with this.
I don't
That
know.
sounds fantastic. Rumble
Tim's the
thumps.
closest to Scotland. I'm sure you know what.
Rumble thumps. That sounds exceptionally specific to a certain location.
I bet I went to see Mrs. Ted and said, "What's rumble thumps?" Oh, I know what rumble thumps is.
The trouble is, we're so far back in the chat now that he's going to hear us ask that. He'll put the answer in, and it won't mean anything by the time we get to it.
Or we'll go through the chat and everybody will have asked that in chat. And what's that? And he'll have explained it to everybody. He does say lots of kits out in the desk tonight looking for paints needed to cover the next few builds.
Yeah, that must be the best meal ever, though. Rumble thumps. I just like, can I have some rumble thumps? A bag of rumble thumps.
It sounds northern. Rumble thumps. I love it. Is that because of the noise it makes if you drop it, or when you eat it and it goes through your system? I don't know.
Oh.
Morgan Gaming says belly risotto. We can't just say risotto. We need to know what kind of risotto. What's in it? Beef, chicken, beef, or beef? Perhaps a mushroom or beef. Belly risotto bench 132nd Harrier. Cool.
Whereas kitchen table modeler says Billy, my dad's homemade bratwurst with salad. That's the advantage of building on the kitchen table, isn't it? Instant food.
Yeah, it's like, I'm working. Nom. I'm working.
Yeah, don't have to move. Just push the model to one side, play it in front of you.
What's on his bench, Ted?
What's in his bench is a Tamiya 135th German 8-ton semi-track, 22mm flak Vulling start KF71.
Excellent. Good kits, those.
Yeah.
Classic.
Lee Dack doesn't seem to have the hang of this yet. He says, I'm working on Hatchet's Rootmaster with a lot of modifications. After that, I'm scratch building a 194th scale Victory. That was bench and bench. We want belly.
Yeah, keep in mind it's belly. We're really interested.
It's all right. It's all right, Lee. We'll forgive you.
Yeah, you knew, so we'll let you settle in for a while.
Yeah, scratch building 194th scale Victory. That'll take you for years, for life, for dear.
Yeah. Especially if he's making out like, I don't know, hair or something. Osric 9000. Now he's allowed off on the. You're allowed not to give details on this because he says belly, chili con carne. You can't really go into any more detail. It's just chili con carne, so you're allowed to get away with that. Belly, chili con carne bench 1700 ships being painted.
Lee Dack says he started the Victory 7 years ago.
I feel much better about my Sazabi.
I feel I didn't take half the time to build a submarine. 7 years.
How long? Yeah, Ted, you used to make your 35-foot long RC boats. How long would it take you to make a big 7 or 8 foot long boat in the old days?
Well, the frigate that I built actually took me about 15 years.
I'll shut up then, shall I?
But it did stay on the shelf for about 12 of those years. So
now we know why Mrs. Ted was having kittens about the Titanic.
Yeah,
she just get flashbacks to her 15-year ship build stuck on a shelf in the kitchen, didn't she?
Yeah, that was it. Stuck on top of the bookcase. Yeah, a big white hull. Yeah. But good luck. I'd like to see that, Derek Lee, when you've done your Victory.
Mm-hmm. Nat Williamson says belly, banana, and sausage roll. I assume that's a banana and a sausage roll. Although if it's banana and sausage roll, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah, banana sausage roll.
That's kind of awesome. There's two ways to read that.
We have banana bread.
Just make sure there's no pancreas. Bench started a town crier hedgehog knitting. Started a town crier hedgehog knitting as a retirement gift for my mother-in-law alongside my RNLI lifeboat.
Oh, I think it's I think it's one of those knitted animal type things you can get like panda.
Okay, town crier. Okay, yeah, I had to parse it for a few seconds in my brain. No, I got it.
She's knitting a hedgehog that happens to be a town crier. What's wrong with that?
We want you to put pictures up on the eModels Facebook page so you can see that. Although I just remember when one of my followers on YouTube sent me a photograph. Who was it that sent me that? It was a picture of they'd knitted something, and it was basically she made a burrito that a little tiny hedgehog was inside it. It was like a warmer for a hedgehog.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It was like a real hedgehog. It was cute, very adorable. But I'm just thinking about belly and banana and sausage rolls. I've lost it now. It moved. The chat jumped.
Right, moving on down. How much chat have you? Is this quite
Man
watch?
Cave Creation says, Bench, I'm putting a completed Micro Mir 1144 Valiant in flight on a wooden base, belly, and mixed grill. Again, you don't need to explain the mixed grill because we get that.
Grill.
Yeah.
So you're allowed to get away with just a mixed grill because we all know it's the relevant ingredients.
Stefan Last, belly, a banana, and some very light cider. A lot of bananas tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bench, decrafting my vinyl rip of Toto
Toto Coelho.
CeeLo. I don't know. Dracula's Tango extended 12-inch version. Yes, really. I don't understand the words, but not. I don't.
I can get the words, but not the sentence.
Yeah, I don't know how you can decrackle a vinyl. I wish I knew.
Software.
Yeah, I thought it was just crackling was just caused by dust on the needle.
It is, but software can run algorithms to go through and find what's background. In the same way, your software can take the vocals out of a piece of music and just leave the music behind, or can separate out the vocals and the music. Quite clever.
Oh, right. I just thought when you had a scratch, you just put your finger on top of the arm on, just dug a groove into the record.
That's why your records didn't last very long, Ted. I'm sticking. Oh, it's not working. There you go. Zadster says, I vaguely remember Toto Coelho's I Eat Cannibals. I have no idea what these words are all saying now. Anders Eriksson says, belly, had my shrimp salad, yeah, as usual, and coffee and fruit. Always added to it, coffee and fruit, because it's Monday. Bench, Panzer IV moving on in tiny steps.
Yeah. Oh, go back to the sideboards. If Tamiya made sideboards, yeah, just glue. We want to talk about Toto Coelho.
AJ says, Ted, are you building a dormer or skylights?
Not at the moment. I'm actually thinking of putting skylights in, but that's in the future. So
yeah. Before that, he's got to do lighting and a Titanic.
Yeah, I've got to move in first.
Take a loft with nice drop lighting and a fitted Titanic.
Dave Cardboard says, pheasant crossing on the road, that's the only time you drive faster instead of hitting the brakes. Yeah, apparently it's poaching. If you knock the pheasant over and get out and pick it up, it's poaching. But if the car in front hits it and then you stop, it's not.
Who did you have following you, Ted?
Yeah, get the wife to drive the little smart car behind her and she picks them up.
Cynical Steve refers to Chris's Bane Blade and says, you've got to love the Minecraft Bane Blade.
Yep.
Yeah, you might, just in case people haven't seen it before, Chris, do you want to explain the colour scheme just very briefly? As in why you're doing what you're doing. So they don't.
Why am I doing what I'm doing is because I'm an idiot.
There you go. Moving on.
There was some talk. I build some of the Warhammer stuff, and for some reason I've drifted into an orange colour scheme through no apparent reason. It just sort of happened that way. So we were talking in a group, and it was mentioned by me something about orange digital camo would look good, and a couple of people said yes, you should do that in a Baneblade, and they bought me a Baneblade and told me I had to do it in orange digital camo. So here it is. This is orange digital camo. I had to do the orange because that's my sort of signature Warhammer colour. Red and pink, I just figured would go with it quite well because it's sort of both sides of orange, if you like. So and it's horrible, but it's great horrible.
And being Warhammer, a completely bright orange colour scheme is absolutely perfectly acceptable because you might be on a volcano planet.
I must admit though, when you put it on the bench behind you, it does kind of work because
Can you
all
not
the
see
edges sort of blend into each other. It just looks like an orange lump behind you now.
Have you got the other turret there, Chris, to show off its enormous multi-gunness? Because he has got guns on the guns with more guns and guns on top of the guns.
Yes, that's not the whole. I shall click on myself again. Wait a minute. Where did I put the mouse? I put it behind me. That's not good. You can't use it when it's behind me. Let me put myself back on the screen again. That is not the full tank. That looks like a full tank, but it isn't. You might notice the large hole and the slightly smaller hole. The slightly smaller hole has another turret on it because it could, and the big hole on the top has an even bigger turret on it, like that.
Yeah, it's not exactly game playable, but I think it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, it's
like a tank with 4 main guns and 8 sponsons and
yeah, there's quite a few. The kit itself doesn't come with the 4 extra guns on the side. There's only 2.
Hello, Ted's
But I
gone
thought
black.
it needed more, so I got more.
Yeah.
It's all right. Carry on.
Now, eModels, of course, do actually carry Games Workshop stuff in stock. They don't have a Baneblade in stock yet. I'm sure they will at some point, but they do carry Games Workshop stuff now. Ah, Baneblade, fantastic. In my belly, minced tatties, carrots, and cabbage, says Graham McRobert, and on the bench, repairing a laptop. Cool. Like I say, remember when we say ask what's on the bench, it doesn't have to be a model. It can be anything creative, and that's things like laptop repairs. You could be. We know people that do things like glass blowing and they make puppets. So that's all creative stuff. It's all making.
Yeah.
And Vindicari says, what has this guff got to do with model making? First and last visit. No offense meant. Live long and prosper. Oh, okay. I kind of didn't read that before I read it out.
It doesn't matter because you come to the eModels website. Yeah, it's a model website, but we hardly ever talk about modelling.
Yeah.
It's just a relaxing evening.
It's just a hangout for people to hang out.
Hang out of like-minded people, just hanging out on a Monday night. Some of you are actually modelling while we're sort of rattling on in the background. Yeah,
but you're more than welcome to come back.
Yeah,
if you want.
Stefan Last says chicken counts as a vegetable, right? Mostly, yeah. It's not really a meat. As indeed Anders says, if it's had life under the water or been wearing feathers, it's not real meat.
Isn't chicken a kind of fish?
Yeah, fish.
Feathers.
Is that gammon a kind of fish?
Donald, go back to modelling there. Donald McKenzie says, talking of rigging, going back to the model of the Victory, has anybody used the ammo MIG rigging? That's what I was fiddling about in the cupboard there. I've got some ammo of MIG rigging here. I used it in the submarine. One thing you need to know about this stuff is the two sizes that ammo sell are really, really fine.
So fine, they're invisible.
So fine you can't see it. So you've got to be selective as what you want. This is 0.02 millimeters, so that's as thin as a hair.
Yeah.
But,
Which is kind of aimed at your 1/350 scale, maybe 1/700 scale. I mean, do people tend to put rigging on 700 scale ships? Do they not, like on battleships stuff where it's the antenna wiring, or do they just not bother?
Yeah, I think they would. Yeah, 700 scale. Yeah, certainly rigging would go on that. And with building something like the Victor as well, you'd have hundreds of different sizes of rigging. Yeah. So it's an endless task that in itself.
Yeah. I haven't used it myself, but I've heard tell it's very good. It's kind of the same kind of thing as the traditional easy line stuff, just easier to get. Obviously, eModels stop the ammo by MIG stuff.
Edward Leonard says, evening all, just got home from Dr. Belly. He doesn't actually say that, but just how the line broke up on mine, it sounded good. It said, Belly, quarter pounder with cheese, chips, bench, Rommel's rod.
We still can't remember what that was, Rommel's rod. Philip Book says, hi chaps. Hi, Philip Book. Where are we up to? Philip Books then says, chicken in a bucket, a few beers, and a Tiger One. That's a goodly meal, that is. We like that. You'll fit in quite well here, Philip Book.
We've got an answer from Ting Young on about rumble thumps.
Oh, have we? Hang on, you've jumped ahead then, haven't you?
Yeah, I've jumped down a bit because a lot of people are just chatting. Rumble thumps is a traditional dish from the Scottish borders.
What was that?
The main ingredients are potato, cabbage, and onion, similar to Irish Colcannon and English bubble and squeak. Yeah, bubble and squeak.
Okay.
How can you live virtually on the Scottish border, Ted, and do like the worst Scottish accent in the world?
The borders. That's Irish. That's Irish border.
Tim does also say it's been stolen from Google, so he obviously didn't really know what it was. He's just.
Oh, okay. Phil Lewis says Baneblade is a land battleship. Looks like an Aztec paint effect, says AJ. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look. Chronoman says my fridge thingy has a lasagna and shepherd's pie in, so if Foxx don't say, hang on, wait. So if Foxx doesn't say monkey in the next 0.69 of a second, I'm taking it as a sign from the Gumpler gods that I should scoff the lot. Well, that was probably about half an hour ago, so you've probably eaten it by now.
Yeah, probably eaten it by now. Eaten and washed up.
Philip Book says with a disturbing lack of any punctuation, I love Chicken Phil. I think there was meant to be a comment in there somewhere that meant something else. I love Chicken Phil. Actual modelling question from Tim Young.
I was just reading that. I'll try to work my way through it. Is there anything more annoying than black and white paint profiles with 8 very similar colours represented?
Oh, you mean like in instructions and stuff?
Or,
It means like when you get, look, I think when he means when you get like a paint guide, but all the artwork is just black and white. Or remember when you used to get instructions and they were just different thicknesses of cross hatching, like the old Airfix kits. And you've got like all the different colours represented, but there's black is black, white is white, grey is blue, a bit lighter grey is, Dunkelgelb. A slightly darker grey with dots is German grey. It's like, wow, yeah, I hate that. There's no excuse nowadays for instructions not to be in colour, don't think. In this day and age, basically.
Nat, I think he's complaining, I'm not sure. Bench edit, you guys are making me hungry, so I'm going to make ham, cheese and scrambled eggs.
This is correct.
Oh, yeah. I would make an omelette with that. Ham, cheese, scrambled eggs. Yeah, I would make the eggs into an omelette.
No, omelette there.
Yeah.
No. Michael Brown says Shepherd's Pie, Bandai X-Wing Moving Edition. That's the one where the wings go like that.
Mm.
If you've never built a Bandai Star Wars, if you're into building Star Wars kits, by the way, folks, and you've never built a Bandai Star Wars kit, you need to build some Bandai Star Wars kits. They are at the moment pretty much the best Star Wars kits you're going to get. They're the most accurate. They're the most fun to build. They're the best quality. There's nothing close. Up to many years ago, the absolute best Star Wars models were fine molds, but now those fine molds kits are the Revell Master Series, but they're slightly superseded by the Bandai, which are a bit more accurate, and also they're push fit. So yeah, if you like your Star Wars kits, but you've never made a Bandai Star Wars kit, go and get one. Come on, they're fantastic. If you've never experienced Bandai engineering, you're missing out. Just forget everything you thought about push fit kits. They're not for kids. Bandai. You'll just do little sex wheeze every time you build them. They're just do it. Go and get one.
Even I built one.
Yeah, and you thought it was? Slap it in your basket.
Yes. Anyway, it's that time again. So where we could do a what's in store?
It is that time, isn't it?
Yes. Michael Jackerman says, Whiz.
What's in store? Yeah.
I'll lock it on Foxx briefly then for him to do his introduction.
I'll get things ready.
Yeah, I've got half an hour while Ted presses all the buttons. Not that button.
Yes. Suddenly disappear. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Yes, it is what's in store time. If you've not seen one of these before, basically Ted's going to go, in this case, Ted is going to go through some items he has selected from the eModels store of happiness, and there will be a theme. Now, if you remember at the moment, because the mugs are in short supply, we've stopped giving mugs away for the time being, just for a while, because there's a million people waiting for mugs to be sent out, and they haven't got any waiting to turn up. So we're not giving. So basically, what we're going to do is Ted's going to have a theme to his what's in store. And when he's finished showing you what's in store, he's going to come back and he's going to say, what's the theme for tonight? Go. And the first person to get the right answer in chat will win absolutely nothing.
Yep, Anders does say, what can we not win this week? This week you can not win.
Any bottle smoke, any bottle smoke, any bottle smoke.
Ted,
I'm too slow. I didn't. I was clicked on Foxx then, Ted.
You know he's got a button for that, don't you?
I've got a button for that. I'll press it now. That's not the right button. I may have misprogrammed my button.
Oh, it's not just me then that does the wrong button.
I'll have a button for it next time.
What did that button do then, Chris? Because we don't know.
That played the 4 candles again.
No.
You can't win 4 candles.
So
Any
Ted,
number
you
of
got
candles
to
not
sing
for
the song again, Ted, because his button's not working.
All right, but it's just a fun. Otherwise, you could have won an eModels mug, an eModels mug, an eModels mug.
Yeah,
eModels mug.
Yes. Now next week,
Ted's got 2 eModels mugs. Is this why we've run out of eModels mugs? Is it because Ted's got more?
I've got one as well. Now next week, of course, we'll be basically giving you the chance to not win a speedboat. But this week, you cannot win an eModels mug. So, yes, Ted's going to show you what's in store. He'll come back and he'll then say, what's the theme? If you answer before he comes back and says go, we're just going to point at you and laugh because we're going to ignore your answer. And you won't win nothing. You'll win nothing at all.
Yeah, well, you win double nothing.
Win double nothing. Or I can't think of a joke to go in there that wouldn't insult someone. So we'll just move on.
I wasn't paying attention. Have you done the click and drag thing yet?
Not yet. we got sidetracked.
I thought the idea was to do that early to give people a chance to do that before we go.
Yeah, I know. Well, we got sidetracked with your faulty buttons. Yes. So anyway, if you want to have the best chance of winning absolutely nothing whatsoever, then what you need to do is make sure there's no lag between the video and the chat. So before you do anything, you want to hit the refresh button on your browser, which will be up there if it's Chrome. Don't know where it'll be if you're on something else, because you should be using Chrome. It's up there. Hit refresh, and then drag the video slider all the way across to the right to get everything updated. So refresh and drag. Refresh and drag. Come try it. I'm waiting for you to cut to Ted now.
I was waiting for you to be finished. All right.
I said come try it.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn now, Ted.
Time to turn on, Ted.
Right. Okay. Right. First of all, look at what I won.
Well, you could have not won on one.
Here's what you could have not won today.
Shasta says the week after that we could not win the 1980s beige mini metro 1-to-1 scale.
And a holiday for 4 in the Algarve.
Yeah.
The Algarve.
What
avocado bath set.
What we normally tell you to do is, if you see anything you like, slap it in your basket, because we don't know how many things of what's in store they have on the shelves.
It's not yours till you check it out.
That was a bit early. You popped one out early there, Chris.
We know that they haven't got any mugs because it's notify me when this is in stock. Yeah,
Yes.
eModels mug is out of stock, so don't slap it in your basket because there isn't any. But it is a link within what's in store.
Now they will be getting more in stock, and we think possibly they might be the new ones, but we don't know yet.
No.
Because they've been getting them in stock for about 3 months. So they're having, I think there's been some production delays.
I think what it is that Pete's got the delivery note on his desk for him to sign, and he keeps going in. Oh, right, I'll sign that later. Then he gets 5:30 and he's gone home.
Can I just ask Tim Young to stop looking at the tabs? That's cheating.
Yeah.
You should just be looking at the big picture. Don't look at the little pictures.
So there we are. That's what you could have won. It was an eModels mug.
What actually happens Ted, is he goes to sign the order to order them, and his hand just gets to shake. He's like, "Oh, I'd give it." He's like spending money. He's like, "Oh, I can't sign it. My hand won't do it." And he just because his brain's going. That's wallet funds. Spending money.
Yeah. So anyway, there's the mug for the first item for what's in store. The next what's in store is the eModels 1/72 Mikoyan MiG 17F Warsaw Pact.
Yeah.
Did you say AZ models?
He did say AZ models.
eModels plastic kits.
Do you mean AZ models?
It kind of works better as AZ. I have to agree.
It does, but it's not right.
No, it's not right. It's good, but it's not right.
I think what it was, I watched too much Sesame Street in my youth. The letter Z.
The show is brought to you by the letter
Today, Sesame Street is brought to you by the numbers 4 and the letter Z.
That's also not Scottish, Ted, but never mind, moving on. Now, I'm going to guess, this is obviously Russian. Not that markings on there, but it's a Russian MiG. It's a MiG. But I'm going to guess it's the classic thing of they've kind of stolen the idea of the Lightning and made their own plane. Is that what the MiG 17F is? It's based on the Lightning?
Yeah, the front of it looks a bit lightning-ish, doesn't it? But it's the one on the back a different model because it looks like it's got jets on the wings.
No, they're bombs, Ted. Fuel tanks.
Maybe. I don't know. It shows you how much I know.
Oh, no, actually, yeah, that might be. Oh, that's something else on the other side. That's a different plane altogether.
It shows you how much I know about aircraft. But this could be part of the Russian Red Arrows display team because look, it's got purple exhaust coming out. Yeah.
It's not actually red.
Yeah.
There is that.
Yeah, but never mind. This is the 1/72 Mikoyan MiG 17F Warsaw Pact. So that's probably the markings on the aircraft. Somebody will tell
I think
us.
they're Polish, perhaps. Are they Polish? Is it Poland or?
Yeah,
Tim Young does say that the plane at the back is a Beagle bomber.
Beagle.
Beagles.
Beagle.
Yeah. I think it might be something like Poland or something like that. It's obviously because it's the Warsaw Pact countries.
It's a totally different airplane at the back, isn't it? Look at the tail fin and things like that. Yeah.
We had that conversation. Don't forget, like we were saying earlier, I've forgotten what we said like 5 minutes ago, but we don't know how many of all of these things that are in stock that they have got in stock. The mugs they haven't got. They might have one. They could have 100 of these kits. So if any of these tickle your fancy, like Ted said,
Slap it in your basket.
And don't forget, even if they might have one in stock, so if you want to get it, there's always the chance, even if it's in your basket, until you've paid for it, somebody else can come along and buy it out from under you. So make sure that
It's not yours till you check it out.
yeah, that didn't work, did it? Because I gave you the
Well,
wrong.
you set it up wrong. You knew what Ted was going to say.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, get it in your basket and check it out, even if it means you've got to do 3 different orders, because we don't know how many they've got. They might have one, they might have 100.
Right, yeah. So that
Michael Jackson confirms it's Czech.
oh,
I knew it was like Polish or Czech or something like that. They're marking on it.
yeah. So anyway, this is the MiG-17 from the Warsaw Pact.
Mm.
Yeah, and the next one is some pretty good stuff. Mini art. We quite often feature mini art on the What's in Store because they do produce some cracking stuff, and it's the sort of stuff that you add all those extras to your diorama. This is the 5-ton gantry crane.
Can I just interrupt and bring to attention? Phil Lewis says it's not yours till you check it out.
I saw that.
Because it's Czechoslovakia.
We said you we don't have any.
Yeah.
So you've got one a mug for that.
Sorry about that. I just felt the need to bring that to attention. But
We'll make sure it's well packed.
Oh.
no.
That was rubbish.
Anyway, yeah, back to what's in store.
As you were, Ted.
Back to what's in store. Yeah, if you're building a diorama for any workshops or things like that, there's back to stuff in it. You don't have to use all of it either. Some people buy these kits just for one or maybe 2 items. You could just use the oxyacetylene kit there, or you could use the gantry crane.
Some people buy them for greebles to stick on other things. Like Steve would use all the bits out of that on his spaceships. You'd be amazed what you can make greebles out of.
Yeah. Some of this stuff might lay around in the box for ages until you think, I know just where to use that.
Yeah,
one of them. So
yeah, we do kind of quite often feature mini art stuff because it's great because we've said it before. They make a lot of stuff that most people wouldn't consider making because it's like little niche things like this and World War One stuff and single figure kits and stuff. They tend to do a lot of stuff that's kind of niche, but their quality is really quite good. So if you need diorama accessories, World War Two or 1940s style, go for it. There's a big German tank in the background and it says Hauschen Verboten, so we're assuming World War II German.
Yeah,
but you know,
there's a lot of stuff there. It wouldn't be any different to anything in an English workshop or a French workshop, something like that. So
Cynical Steve says he does indeed buy things out of agreeables. I have to admit, I bought the Italeri truck stop kit and the Tamiya 124th Rally Engineers pit stop kit purely for greebles and plant on details for kits to other things.
Yeah, but as I say, you use 1 or 2 things out of the box, and the rest lives in the box for just that time that you need it.
A lot of sci-fi, if you look at a lot of motion picture models, sci-fi space vehicles, you'll often see things like half a barrel stuck on the side of a spaceship as a detail. Just half a barrel stuck down the middle, cut down the middle, blonk. There you go. It's quite common.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll go on to the next one in store is another mini arts kit. And this is a garage workshop. Once again, I picked this one. I couldn't decide between the last one and this, but then I saw this and the amount of stuff that is pictured as in the box. There's the workbench, the chairs, the shelves, everything's in there. Let's go and have a look at some of the drawings. Some of the photographs. Yeah, a marked kit that's just in there. And if you're a shiny car builder, want your diorama to look as though there's a car in a bit of a restoration, sort of anything like that. There's bags of material, loads of stuff in there.
I wish I'd known about that actually when I was thinking about the diorama for my Cesar because it's going to have a sort of workshoppy type diorama to it. So, God darn it. Yeah. Never mind. Moving on.
But it's all on. Yeah, there's pictures of all the sprues. If you want to have a look at this, it's number 35596. As I say, I've said before, there might be just 1 or 2 things that you want out of it. Even the photo itch spanners, set of spanners.
Cynical Steve, by the way, says he's got the ones that I mentioned, the truck stop kit and the pit stop kit, and he's also got those.
So yeah.
Certified as good greeble sources, if nothing else. But the thing is, you could quite easily, you think about it, you might buy a model figure and then think, I've got to go like a workshop diorama and spend a long time. Or you could just buy a workshop diorama that's actually a kit and you get a kit and a figure done. There you go. You've got an entire diorama that's you've built in there.
It's even sets down here little axle stands. So if you wanted to portray your vehicle on axle stands or anything like that, there's an axle stand down there. I don't know what the wood saw's there for, but
Probably the same as the anvil. It's like not many maintenance workshops have anvils in them, but
yeah. But to have a bench and you put all sorts of material and tools. There's a pillar drill, everything.
just say that again, Ted.
What, pillar drill?
Pillar drill. It sounds great. Pillar drill.
Pillar drill, anvil, vice, cantilever toolbox.
Making Model says, talking about Colin, Making Model talking about greebles and stuff and getting spares and stuff. He says, get dragon kits. They come with so many spares, you end up with boxes of greebles.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's what it's all about. Yeah, but yeah, great value for money. Lots of stuff in the box there. And moving on, we'll go to the next one. I want one of these for when I come.
Menu discipline.
Oh yeah, when I come to do the Titanic, I've got all those portholes to drill out. And yeah. So I'm quite impressed by this one. This is a Trumpeter high quality micro hand drill at nearly 20 quid, £19, not 79. It looks a business, doesn't it?
I've got the Master Tools tweezers, and they're actually really, really nice. That doesn't give you any light on the quality of the pin vise, but it's I've got the Master Tool tweezers, and they are delightful. So Master Tools are pretty good. And it's the important thing with this is it's got the little pommel on the end, which sits in the palm of your hand. Not only do you have a funky storage area in the handle, but that little pommel is the vital thing because I've got a pin vise with a pommel on the end, and I've got a pin vise with just a chuck on either end. And the one that's got a chuck on both ends is rubbish because as you twist it in your hand, the chuck comes off and you end up just gouging your palm of your hand with the chuck. This one with the pommel just sits in your palm of your hand and rotates freely. It's brilliant. You just spin it around, no discomfort whatsoever.
Yeah, it does get a bit uncomfortable and blisterous in your palm.
And as it does say there, extendable length with the joint part.
Well, yes, I saw that. I couldn't work out what that was for.
Make it bigliness.
Easy installation of drill bits, extendable length with the joint part, smooth bearing installed at the handle. So there, got it all. So if you want to buy a drill, Trumpeter, and associated with pretty good quality stuff, high quality micro drill, 19 quid. Yeah, you'll keep it forever.
The thing with those kind of drills, I don't know if that's really a pin vise. It's more of a very small drill than a pin. I think it's a bit slightly bigger gauge than a pin vise. But the thing about tools like this is you look at this and you think, I don't need a pin vise. I don't need to drill anything out. I've never had to drill a hole in my life. I guarantee you, the moment you get a pin vise or a hand drill like this, the moment you get one, you'll suddenly find things to drill on everything. You'll be drilling holes in all kinds of. You'll be like, oh, I can do this now. Now I can do it. Where you'd never would have thought of it. Now you've got the. So yeah, they're always invaluable little tools. These.
And as Fox says, I think this is a bit of a larger gauge than just a standard pin vise, which it's a bit of an advantage because you'll always find you want to drill a hole, your drill just won't fit in the pin vise.
I mean, I can't see. Does it say in the description? You've got any information about the gauge of it, like how big bits it can take?
It says that the chuck itself has a diameter of 13 mil.
Yeah, I mean, normally they've got normally they've got a chuck inside you can turn around. It'll do a fat bit and a thin bit, but I don't know on this one. So
I don't think it is on this one. It's just
Monkey does say it's a great pin vise.
Yeah, but that's it. Yep, great pin vise. Trumpeter. So what more can we say? And the final one tonight, Foxx smile with glee.
You've done the Warhammers. Yes, good girl.
Workshop.
It's guitar as well.
Yeah, it's a Warhammer.
Oh, this will be fun. Ted reading out the instructions for this one.
Ted can tell you all about the Skitari now in Warhammer 40k lore.
Yeah, I was going to hand over to Foxx now to tell you all about the Games Workshop
Bless you, Ted. Gesundheit. Yes, it's one of the start collected boxes. If you've never... the thing with Games Workshop is you can either want to play the game or you can have no interest in the actual game itself, the tabletop game, but just like the models. If you've never really tried painting miniatures, these are basically, they are designed for brush painting. They are perfectly designed for, you can airbrush them if you want, but they are designed for brush painting. And if you've never tried any of this stuff, these start collecting sets, they are the best value for money because these are like, what's the price on this? 54 quid. 54 quid, which is a discount off RRP to start with anyway. but 54 quid, but you're actually getting about 75 quid worth of stuff because you're getting the Dune crawler thing that I can't remember the name of, which is the big crabby thing, that puppy there. I think they're about 25 to 30 quid just as a standalone model. Then you're getting a load of Skitarii Rangers and the Tech Priest as well. And you're getting the guy there with the big weapon that's got the most fantastic name that I can't remember the name of. It's the Arc something. I can't remember what it's called now. Anyway, yeah, they're brilliant. They're beautiful figures. They're sort of some of the latest Adeptus Mechanicus figures from Games Workshop. So they're nicely detailed. They go together beautifully. They're great fun to build. And just that guy on his own is the Tech Priest Dominus. And he's just, you could spend days just painting him because they're fantastic. They go to so much detail. If you're getting into brush painting, they are the perfect thing to learn brush painting because they're just so beautiful to paint. And at 54 quid, you're getting about 70 or 80 quid worth of stuff. They're absolute bargain. And if you're wanting to play the game and you just want to start a little army, but you don't know what to go for, there's other boxes in store available, but start collecting boxes are the best way because you can build up a small skirmish force without spending too much of a fortune. So give it a shout. There are other start collecting boxes in the store. There's, I think there's an Orcs one. I think there might be a Space Marines one. I can't remember now, but there's a few in there. But Skitarii, they're Imperial. They're allied with the Space Marines. They're Imperium of Man allied. They're really good, the Skitarii. They're like robot dudes. Check them out anyway.
It does say there are some new start collecting sets out today as well, so I'm sure eModels will have them soon.
Yeah. eModels are stock in Games Workshop. If you hadn't noticed, there is a dedicated Games Workshop section. It's still in the early days, so it's not like every single kit ever, but they are getting more and more stock as time goes by. If there's something specific you want, Games Workshop wise, they are going to be getting all the paints, for example. If you're something specific you're looking for, like say you wanted a Baneblade, like Chris has got there or whatever, and you don't see it in store, feel free to drop the guys an email or use the contact form and say, "Hey guys, I'm looking for whatever. Are you going to be getting it?" Because they will get it in. Just they're doing it in bits. They're getting their stock in stages. So, but yeah, those start collecting boxes, they're an amazing value because all the painting in that box, you could spend 6 weeks painting all that, and it's 54 quid for 70 or 80 quid worth of stuff. So, I wouldn't turn that down.
I know that, but Foxx says I was going to say it, but I thought we'd just let him do it anyway. So that's the Games Workshop. Start collecting Games Workshops thing.
Flanker S35 says, not a fan of fantasy, if I'm honest. Oh, it's not fantasy. That's hardcore sci-fi, trust me.
Yeah.
Fantasy is the Age of Sigmar stuff. That's a whole different ball of...
Anyway, before I stop sharing, we'll have a quick whiz through, and before I come back to you, so we've got the Scale Model Enthusiast mug. We've got the MiG 17F from the Warsaw Pact.
Oh, I forgot we've got a theme. We've paid attention.
The 5-ton gantry crane and equipment from Mini Art. And we've got the Garage Workshop, also from Mini Art, 1/35th scale. Lots of stuff in the box. And we've got a trumpeter, micro hand drill. And finally, this Skitarii Games Workshop Start Collecting Kit.
You need to buy that and nothing else, basically.
Yeah, so there we go. Right, I'll stop sharing. I'll find out where I am so I can come back to you. There I am. And I better get chat up as well so that I can see if anybody chats. And the word is now go.
Yeah, well, I've got no idea because I wasn't paying attention.
I was thinking model kits, but then there's some things that aren't model kits in there as well, so I don't know.
Sergeant Brown says Dunkelgelb is always the answer. 42 says Anders. Cheese and onion says Phil Lewis.
There we are. The flanker S35 has come with the answer there. Tools.
Is that the right answer?
That's the right answer. Well, it's Tools Workshop. Yep. But I'll take Tools because everything that I mentioned tonight would be tools in your workshop, even your mug.
Oh, so hang on, MIG as in a MIG welder.
Yeah, and the Warsaw Pact.
Yeah, get that.
Yeah,
I like that. Flanker says, haha, get in. Well done, Flanker. You have won yourself a generous helping of absolutely nothing.
Look at what you could have won.
Yeah, we'll get it packed up and not sent to you.
So there we go. Thanks everybody. Yep, hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, it was just a bit of theme. Just as I was building my workshop, I thought tools. Yeah, go for tools.
So Ted's tool time.
Yeah. So tools workshop. I would have accepted tools or workshop. So
Mark Scope says, I don't have a Scooby. Stuart Hislop said, Crackerjack pencil. Stewpot says, musical instruments. I don't. Yes. Bob Barkley says, plastic. Mark Scope says,
Wait a minute, this means it's mine next week, doesn't it?
Yes, and then Colin, and then me.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. I shall start revising tonight. As soon as we go off air, I'll...
Yeah, I didn't think I couldn't think of a theme tonight until about once again 10 minutes before.
Don't tell people that.
Yeah, I mean that I'd started thinking like 10 minutes before last week's show.
I in no way at all go into the eModels website half an hour before the show and type in a random word to the search window. There's no way you'd see a whole weird selection of random words like egg and fish and bird in my search history if you looked on the website.
Cynical Steve has a mind working on the same level as mine. Workshops in your new one. Yeah. So,
The beauty of it is we can make the most complicated connections to everything after the fact. But we probably don't make them when we actually come up with the ideas.
sometimes we don't even have a theme. We just put it on and then we pick the first answer.
No, definitely don't tell them that.
Yes, Bob Smith. The theme was political factions in the 1920s in South America. How did you guess? Absolutely right. Exactly what we were thinking.
We've got one more thing to do, haven't we?
Shall we? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who's got it? And it's amazing this week as well, isn't it?
It is truly fantabulous.
Yeah.
Let me know when it's on me.
Here's the thing. Shall I lock it on Foxx? It's Foxx doing the thing, isn't he?
Yeah, look at Foxx.
Okay, you are locked on, Foxx.
Hello. I am talking to you through the medium of the television. Welcome, people of Earth. Yes, this week, I don't know where that was coming from. I am Vrillon of the Ashtar Collective. There's a reference nobody will get. Yes, we've got a giveaway this week.
Yes.
It's a very...
Free stuff.
It's free stuff, but it's a very, 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 very special giveaway. And I like the fact that Chris was nodding every time I said very there. It's quite very. It's a very... What is it, Chris? It's...
Very, very important stuff, yes. Interesting things. I wasn't really listening.
You'll be fighting over this. You'll all be fighting over this to win it. Yeah. But anyway, I shall do a screen share. I shall do a screen share. Ted seems to have something stuck in his throat.
Tim Young says, "I hope it's the pigeons."
I'll do a screen share. Are we ready? The screen share
Dora.
Says... Yes.
Pigeons.
This week we are giving away mostly pigeons. Oh, thank you very much. After
I'll do my pigeon impression. Coo.
Let me do mine. Hang on.
Oh, I'm a pigeon.
Right, so that was my Colin pigeon. Full handles. Yeah, so if you remember last week, I had the pigeons in my What's in Store. When we came off air last week, we sat there and it was like, should we just get James to put one to one side and give it away next week? Yes. We can't not do it. So yes, this week we are giving away 1/35th scale pigeons, which is kind of basically about the size of a grain of rice. But the best bit about these pigeons, before you, even though I know you're all really excited right now, I know you're all like, oh, I need that in my life. But what makes this even, if you didn't watch last week's, not only do you get this amazing selection of pigeons to paint as you wish, and some of these, bear in mind, are wood pigeons, which is, we'll let them in. They are the dumbest creatures in all of God's creations, wood pigeons. We've got them in our garden. They're adorable because they're so stupid. Not only are they awesome selection of pigeons, they're also multi-part kits. Let your brain process that. They're 1/35th scale pigeons where you attach the legs separately. I mean, that is just the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Can you imagine the designers at Mini Art? And they say, right, what we got on the books? I think what we need to do some pigeons.
I hope they come with instructions.
I doubt it. They do come with an enormous paint guide on the back. If you look at the back of the box there, it's got like all the paint instructions.
Do you think this is a kit that somebody doodled in a meeting?
I don't know. But it's
while somebody's presenting this month's facts and profits and margins, and somebody doodled it and think, oh, do some pigeons.
I'd be tempted to stick all the legs onto one bird and.
Yeah, Steve would be putting like turbines on it and stuff. I mean, can you imagine the planning meeting? David, what are you doing? Well, I'm working on the 1/35th Sherman tank. Okay, what about Paul? What about you? Well, I'm working on the concept Horton jet craft. What about you, Bob? What are you doing? I'm doing pigeons. you monster.
Lord Barkley says camo pigeons. You could do one in digital camo. Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
Actually,
orange digital camo. Go well on a tank.
But what really tickles me is because obviously there's an algorithm to the website which looks at what you're looking at and then says, if you like this, you might also like. And it's like pigeons. If you like this, you might also like the helicopter and a truck and a tank and some dudes and the train. Because you can see the algorithm going, I can't match that with anything. So yes, we are giving away the mini art of 135th pigeons. I can't give you any more information than that. It's literally 2 sprues.
Yeah. Remember, we did show these on last week's What's in Store, so there may not be many left.
Yeah. So if you want one, all you need to do
Slap it in the basket.
what I'll do is I'll put it here so you can pause for a second. You can take a screenshot of the paint list so you can make sure you can get all the. If you win, you can get all the paints in. It's all ammo by Mig, or they've got Mission Models, or Hataka, or Tamiya, or AK, or Life Color, or Mr. Color, or Vallejo. Or they give you, I can't believe they give you all the paint colors for all the different brands. That's amazing. You don't even get that on tank kits and plane kits.
Yeah. I wonder how many pigeons you could paint out of all that.
All of them, basically. And if you do win this, we want to see your finished pigeons. We want to see your colourful birds posted on the eModels Facebook page when you've done them. We want to see rock doves and turtle doves and wood pigeons and scruffy. And if you can as well, if you're able to do modding, you need to give at least one of them a shonky foot. Because if
I noticed there seems to be 6 pigeons on each sprue, and there's 3 of each sprue, so you get like dozens of pigeons.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to have some pigeon fun with this one. You're going to be doing it for months. But if you're going to buy pigeons for a diorama, you're not going to get like 5, are you?
Yes, as Carl said earlier, it's the doves from above.
Yeah, so you need to make sure you give at least one a club foot, because there's always one with the funky foot. Anyway, yes, so all you need to do if you want to win possibly our best giveaway ever, because we haven't yet given away the human tooth, is all you need to do is wait till the show is finished. It'll become a normal video on the eModels YouTube channel. And when it does, just put a comment on there. And all we want is a comment about pigeons. Keep it family friendly, because obviously we may read them out, but we want a comment about pigeons. Not that complicated.
Dave Cardboard asks, do they come with stands for posing in flight?
Yeah, it's called the diorama you built. Oh, we're posing in flight. Yeah, some of them are in flight. I don't know how you do that.
You could print a figure of Nelson, couldn't you, and have a pigeon?
Yeah. The ones that are flapping the wings seem to have the legs out. It would seem so. You could get a little bit of very fine acrylic rod and make them flying, I suppose. Anyway, I shall stop sharing because that's enough pigeon nonsense. Although I say that, there's no such thing as too much pigeon nonsense. And there you go.
Oh, yeah. Pigeons.
So yeah, put a comment on this video when it becomes a normal video after the show is finished. Give it 5 minutes. Go and find the video on the YouTube eModels page and just put a comment about pigeons.
Yeah, just to think, you could be famous by being the person that won the pigeons.
And let's be honest, like I said, until one day we give away the human tooth kit, this will be the best thing we've ever given away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have seen a few people in the chat saying that they're not interested in winning it. I don't understand the reasoning behind that, because it's pigeons. It's great.
It's pigeons and it's free. Who doesn't want free pigeons?
The people out there in chat, they could be going to Telford this year and saying, "Hi, I'm Steve. Remember me? I won the pigeons."
And you get instant respect. Everybody buy you a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got Flanker S35 says, what about collared doves? Could you paint them to look like that? You could do, but collared doves are a bit smaller than pigeons. So you might have to do some modding work.
You could just say it's a different scale.
Yeah. Just use a different paint.
Force perspective.
They look good posed on Dora, so they are 1/35th scale, keep in mind. Mm-hmm. Foxx just gave us the bird. I like that one. Going to enter this for sure, says Tim Young. Philip Book says, if you're going to paint these figures, it's a great idea to have a wet palette. You could do all your blending. Yeah, get blending on the crop of the wood pigeons.
Dave Cardboard says £10 for the kit and £200 for the paint.
Yeah. Tim Young says, I'm going to combine these with 450 scale figures to make a low budget monster movie. That's the kind of thinking we like around here. Just silly nonsense thinking.
Can you Warhammer them?
You probably can, yeah. I want a squadron of Arcturian stunt apples. I'm amazed they aren't already sold out. Well, we did ask James quite quickly after last week's show to put one to one side for us specifically. So,
Michael Jackman said, "Go on, Muttley, stop the pigeon." You could build it. Yeah, you could build a biplane, couldn't you? And have all these pigeons pigeon flying behind it.
Cynical Steve says, "I think I'll pass this week as much as I'd like to win some." Yeah, but Steve, think about it. Because you get about 30 or 40 pigeons in this set or whatever, you could put a secret Easter egg pigeon on every one of your custom builds. So, and you could say, in every one of my builds, there's a pigeon. There's a like Ted had his man on the iPhone in his U-boat, his World War II U-boat with the German Kriegsmarine on his iPhone. You could have a secret Easter egg pigeon that nobody would know.
Like there's a Batmobile on the Millennium Falcon and things like that.
Yeah. Or there's actually, did you know, on the Super Star Destroyer, filming model, there is an American GI, World War II GI soldier, just stood there like that.
So is that a hint then that there might be a pigeon within the next build?
Yeah, there's always a pigeon.
Mm-hmm.
There's just still a display stand. What about the Dora? When will you give that away? We've suggested that to Pete, but his wallet died. It kind of just healed itself over, and you'd never, yeah.
Felice said he likes the idea of basing a Warhammer army with dead pigeons rather than just skulls.
Or just do live pigeons, but make them Warhammered. Making Models comes up with a good point. He says it's 135th or 134th if you're doing doves, because doves are smaller.
Chrissy on 1001 says, my granddad used to keep a jug of milk in the fridge that he told me was pigeon's milk. I believed him until I was about 7. Then I found out that it was just UHT milk.
You know, old people, they just mess with kids' minds. They just, in those days, in the old days, adults just used to mess with our minds.
It's a thing. When you become a parent, you have to. It's like the dad jokes. You get sent a big book of dad jokes that you have to use, and dancing and stuff. You get the whole welcome pack.
Now, here we go. Now, although Flanker S35 totally didn't win a mug in the thingy thing, Spruglu Addict also totally doesn't win a mug this week, because he says the best comment of all about the piece says, is long distance Clara in the box? Pigeon Street. Remember long distance Clara, Pigeon Street? Boo.
No.
You guys are rubbish. You don't remember Pigeon Street?
I remember Pigeon Street in a vague sort of way, but not really a. Yeah.
See, to me, Pigeon Street is on a whole different level, because to me, all I remember is the entire sound effect for the pigeon was just a Simmons synth drum. Boom. So they made no effort at all with the sound effects. They just said, bing, there you go, there's a sound effect.
Right. I think it's about winding up time. So we'll give the pigeons away. We're done what's in store. We've done building the bench. I think it's time to leave it until this time next week.
Pitch.
I'm just looking forward to reading some of these pigeon comments.
You need a pitch button, Chris.
I need a pigeon button. No, I don't need a pigeon button.
Pigeons. So remember, yes, leave a comment on the video when it's just become a normal video, just saying an interesting fact about pigeons. Keep it family friendly.
Yep.
And we'll pick the winner next week. So it could be you.
It could be you.
Yes.
You've got to be in it to win it.
Kajit has pigeons if you have answered the question.
So, on that note, we'll leave it for tonight. So go and win yourself some pigeons and amaze all your friends with your pigeon diorama.
Do you know what's better than pigeons? Nothing is better than pigeons.
Two pigeons.
But then dinosaurs are better than everything.
Right. Right. Okay. Yep. It's 20 to 11 because I put my clock right. So, time to go. That's all for this week. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining in, and I hope we haven't. What? Never mind.
You don't know where that sentence is going.
Done the stuff and finished things.
My brain shutting down. I just forgot.
Your brain kind of pushed you into a room. Went, right, I'm off now. Bye. And you're like, wait, what? I don't know where I am. What?
It's just pigeons messing with my brain.
It's like mingle. Bye.
Anyway, we'll leave you all to it, and thank you very much for joining in. We'll see you same time, same place, same back channel. Until next week. Bye, everyone.
Pigeon.
Bye.
I'm not pushing a button yet till Foxx has finished saying pigeons.
Pitch.
Pitch, 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 pitch. I'll stop.
Good night, everybody. Bye.
I thought you pressed the button.